Welcome to my project Virtual Desktop Technology. My ID number 1882217A Winnie Mission. This is how project comes. First, VDI, Virtual Desktop Infrastructure. How are desktop delivered? Second, compute, where desktop run. Third, storage, where desktop lives. Virtual Desktop Infrastructure. Introduction. Virtualization is the basis of VDI because it provides the functionality for creating and managing desktops. A desktop is an instance of an operating system running on a virtualization platform. In VDI, a virtualization platform is configured as a desktop provider. It is used to create and manage desktop providers and desktops and to authenticate users and assign desktop to them. Purpose of virtual desktop infrastructure is allow users to work as if they were connected to any company's local network from anywhere, anytime, and on practically any device with an internet connection. It enables you to centralize virtual maintenance, update device, open bracket, both operating system and application updates, close bracket, in a fast and easy way without having to go on site to a physical facility or having to transfer bit-sized data throughout the network. Compute. NVIDIA Virtual Compute Virtual Server enables data center to accelerate server virtualization using the latest NVIDIA data centers GPUs. With products like NVIDIA 100 Tensor Core GPUs, NVIDIA Virtual Compute Server makes it possible for computers to run the most compute-intensive workloads for artificial intelligence, deep learning, and data science. Key features of NVIDIA Virtual Compute Server include management and monitoring. NVIDIA Virtual Compute Server provides support for monitoring at the app, guest, and host level. Proactive management features enable live migration as well as suspend and resume function. Advanced compute, error correcting code and dynamic page retirement prevent against data corruption for high accuracy workloads. License for compute. Unlike NVIDIA is not tied to a user with a display, its license per GPU as a 1-year subscription with NVIDIA Enterprise support included. This allows a number of compute workloads in multiple computers to be run on a single GPU, minimizing utilization of resources and ROI. Compute solution. Access to compute resources in the server allows you to outsource time-intensive computations to dedicated data center and use as many computers as you need on a temporary basis. Running analysis in parallel with server allows returning results for large set of load cases as much faster than locally. The more run in parallel, the fast open bracket compared to a computer with limited resources, close bracket. Compute security. Improve security by strengthening software resilience to attacks. Network. 10 gigabit internet, open bracket, or 10 GBE, close bracket card. 10 GBE card can deliver network I/O virtualization from the evils of low bandwidth, ease management, and improve power consumptions. The problem with a 10 GBE NIC is that it takes advantage of the 10 times increased bandwidth. The combination of 10 GBE intranet with the intelligence of a queuing system from the virtualization vendor support of that queuing from the NIC vendors will allow for significantly broader and denser deployments of server virtualization. Intranet waits a set time between each packet sent, which is called interframe spacing. This gives other network nodes an opportunity to grab the wire and send a packet interframe spacing equal the time it takes to transmit 96 bits on the wire. For example, 1 gigabit intranet uses a standard interframe spacing of 0.096 microseconds, and 10 gigabit intranet use 1/10 that gap, or 0.0096 microseconds. This is one of example NIC card, which is from Dell company. Dell Intel X540-T2 10 GBE NIC dual port copper. The gigabit intranet interface card from Dell is ideal for connecting your server to your network. The gigabit dual port server adapter proven to be a reliable and standards-based solution. This product has been tested and validated on Dell system. It is supported by Dell's technical support when used with a Dell system, which is cost $468.99. This is a technical specification specs. Network solution boost IT productivity. Network virtualization can reduce the cost of purchasing and maintaining hardware, which is especially useful and logical for organizations with vast workloads that would require over-provisioning to keep up with demand. Also, as data volume and speed increase, the ability to scale efficiently allows security teams to maintain better network visibility. Dynamic network control. Network virtualization offers centralized control over network resources and allows for dynamic provisions and reconfiguration. Also, computer resources and applications can communicate with virtual network resources directly. This also allows for an optimization of application support and resource utilization. Storage. Storage virtualization software or device creates a logical space and then manages metadata that establishes a map between the logical space and the physical disk space. Advanced storage management techniques such as team provisioning and dynamic provisioning can readily be supported. Team provisioning allows the creation of a LUN that is larger than the physical disk space allocated to it. For example, a 1 GB LUN can be created with perhaps 100 MB of storage space to start, as the associated application use the disk space. More disk space can be allocated periodically, open bracket, up to the assigned amount, close bracket, without having to recreate the LUN. Storage area network. Tape drive, disk array, SAN switch, server, network LAN. SAN, fiber channel. This is typically the best performing disk solution, but usually one of the most expensive. Network disk is a good alternative and has come close to matching SAN performance. Also, using 15K hard drives will give a performance gain when compared to 10K drives, but it is also important to have larger RAID group available to help spread the disk I/O across as many drive spindles as possible. SAN is the most popular solution which has been rapidly spreading across organizations. Storage devices can be connected directly to this network by fabric which contains switches and hubs to connect any storage to the servers as if they were local. SANS depends heavily on a high-speed fiber channel technology to provide flexible connectivity requirements. The major disadvantages of SAN storage system users usually have to stick to a single vendor, which results in isolated pockets/islands of SANs. Storage drive capacity 256 GB. Increase the storage capacity of your Dell system with 256 GB solid state drive from Dell. It boasts a storage capacity of up to 256 GB, enabling users to store large amounts of data. Solid state design offers ruggedness and fast data access. Benefits of SSD over spin drive. Faster dash access, boot out, file transfer, and overall quicker computing experience than hard drives. Lighter. Flash-based SSDs weigh considerably less. Cooler. SSDs require little power to operate, resulting in less heat output by your system. More efficient, consume less power at peak load. Cost $189. Storage solution protects existing investment by expanding available storage available to a host or SAN. Avoid downtime during data migration. Storage virtualization operates in the background to maintain data logical address to preserve access. Storage management. Storage virtualization can help eliminate multiple tools and processors for different types of storage array and media, while consolidating storage management allows easier and efficient management. It also helps avoid both human and administrative errors. Repurposing unused storage that is already allocated using the storage only when the host open bracket as per the application demand close bracket writes the data on it. Costing. Network. Dell Intel X540 T2 10 GPE NIC dual port copper 468.99. Storage. Dell system with 256 GB solid state drive. Cost $189. GPU. Dell VDI Nvidia Tesla V132 GB passive GPU cost $20,985.46. Grand chart. This is how my weekly activity how I do. First week, identify issue. Second, week 2, design and solution. Week 1 and week 2, implementation. Week 2, week 3. Then testing and acceptance, week 4 and week 5. Maintenance, week 5. Yeah. Risk analysis pros and cons. Human mistake. Human operators have a large impact on the proper and secure operation of the system. Such actions are designed to prevent committed errors and their consequences. One of the biggest mistakes made in systems with virtualization, also in the analyzed system, is the lack of adequate protection for the virtual desktop infrastructure. Human mistakes were identified. Misconfiguration. Computers are created from the default configuration intended to ensure the safety of virtual system components must involve many more options than the default configuration. Mission of additional configuration makes possible to take control of the system is a simple task. Deletion file in virtual file system. Reformat. Accidental deletion of data is the threat, which is considered as an unintentional human error. In the case of the analyzed system, we can take into account the removal of computer with all data. Such mistake not only disturb the integrity of the data, but also to disable the whole system. Malware-based threats. System with virtualization not all with virtualization, just like any others, are supposed to marvelous human action. It is not specified that it must be a hacker who breaks into the play to a computer, or a cyber criminal who wants to steal the stored data. System can be threatened as well by malicious employees, former or current, who can take advantage of the privilege and the lack of adequate safeguard to harm the company. Following malware-based threats are identified. Abuse of privileges. The issue concerning on administrators and those having the highest level of privileges to the system and virtual desktop infrastructure. In the worst case, they can use their permission to harm the organization, for example, by deleting data or creating a backdoor to the system for themselves or others. Failures. Failures are critical to business continuity and system availability, while difficult to predict their occurrence. The analyzed system has already experienced several failures within a year. Failures are identified. Server failure. Failure of a single server has no significant impact on the community of the system. The use of high-availability cluster solution ensures that the computers hosted on the server after server's failure will be transferred to the least loaded server. However, it may be associated with a decrease in performance. Pros. Recovery is easy. With virtual desktop infrastructure intends on remote server duplication, backup, and recovery are also easier. In case of downtime or a crash, they can simply pick up from the last saved position mirrored on another virtual desktop infrastructure instance and run with it. Cons. Data can be at risk. Working on virtual desktop infrastructure intenses on shared hardware resources until your data is hosted on third-party resources. It can leave your data vulnerable to attacks on unauthorized access. This is a challenge if your service provider does not have proper security solution to safeguard your virtual intents and data. It's true. Specifically, in the case of storage virtualization, GPU is computing needs in the modern data center change. High-performance GPUs have become an important part of server virtualization. Server workloads such as big data analytics employ more powerful data visualization and rendering capabilities to express complex data. Servers also need the graphic capability to handle endpoint type tasks that are now virtualized. A GPU serves the same role on a server that it does on a client-side computer. The GPU offloads an application graphics instruction from the main processor. This process frees up the main processor for other tasks and executes the application graphic instruction in hardware, providing for the high-level sophisticated like rendering, video processing, and virtualization we expect today. Without a GPU, graphic instruction would need software emulation and would tie out the main processor rendering unacceptable level of performance. High-performance GPUs are typically deployed on traditional servers through a high-specialized graphic adapter card such as NVIDIA Tracer installed in an available PCI Express slot at the server. This is the easiest and most common way to retrofit an existing server with no onboard GPU, but there are still challenges to consider. NVIDIA Tracer for server currently only supports 32-bit and 64-bit Linux. Depending on its intended use, the GPU may require driver support from Windows Server 2012 as well as a Hyper-V shell as vSphere or Hyper-V. In short, there must be some mechanism for CPU cores to share GPU. This is particularly important to VDI deployments where many desktop intents require graphic functionality. GPU, which is found on example Dell company. Dell NVIDIA Tesla V100 32GB passive GPU. Accelerate your most demanding HPC, hyperscale, and enterprise data center workloads with NVIDIA Tesla GPU Accelerator, which is cost $20,945.46, which is can be saved up $15,702.41. Price inclusive of 7% GST. Pilot planning. Pilot planning virtual desktop infrastructure objective is to provide understanding of production characteristics of a global design deployment in the customer environment. With help from global design, virtual desktop infrastructure employs this service support exploration of the end-to-end challenges of virtual desktop infrastructure in a pilot environment. During the pilot planning, the IT department must take into account the requirements and needs of the environment, the business, and the end users. The tests and adjustments during the pilot stage are critical to recreating how virtual desktop infrastructure operates in real environments. Pilot implementation. Based on the pilot design document, Global Design will support customer teams in implementing the pilot. In particular, Global Design staff guides the teams in configuration of the Global Design computing system and the hypervisor and the desktop connection broker software. Global Design employees ensure successful realization of the pilot, thereby reducing project timescale and risk. Pilot testing. Global Design employee guides the customer teams in the creation of a test specification which can subsequently be used to stress test the pilot implementation. This will enable a full understanding of the strengths and opportunities that virtual desktop infrastructure delivers for the organization and an understanding of other potential weaknesses. Global Design unique end-to-end experience helps to ensure that all relevant test cases are identified and considered, thus giving the teams confidence that they are able to sufficiently stress and navigate the pilot design. Global Design employees also work to make sure that the deployment reduces operating costs, improves virtual desktop infrastructure management, and extends security and disaster recovery to the virtual desktop infrastructure environment. Conclusion. Virtual desktop infrastructure demonstrates your security, community, and accessibility needs. Your IT department will appreciate the level of security and central management. Your employees will love the ease of access anywhere and on any device. Thank you.